Hello, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Bryn Krug, and I'm the lifestyle editor here at the Northern Star.
And I'm Sarah Rose, and I'm the managing editor, and welcome back to The Trend, a Northern Star podcast. We are on episode 2.
Well, of the semester. I think
of
it's
the
episode
semester.
11.
11?
Like,
That's
total.
crazy.
Yeah. But, hey, we love it, and we hope you love it, too.
Yes.
But we got a couple things today. Actually, more negative this week.
Yeah.
We have negative things. I think I'm getting upset. I'm getting upset already. Okay. I think we should start off with the worst thing.
I don't want to say it.
Which is the demure trend.
Going on TikTok.
You've heard it. You've heard it too much. You're probably sick of it, and so are we.
I don't like it.
No. Do you know, like, the origins?
I don't. It came out of nowhere. I would love to hear it.
So, well, it was just there was this one video from this creator, and they were like, oh, like, do you see how I did, like, I'm not going to quote it right, so it's something to the effect of, like, do you see how I did this makeup look instead of, like, a full cut crease? Very demure, very mindful. And they, like, said that, and it was just, like, that video itself was, like, funny. So then people were just like, oh, my God, the fact that they said very demure, very mindful was funny. And then, so, like, day one, I see the original video.
Oh, wow.
I see a couple other people. Well, day one for me. I don't know when it was posted. But I see a couple other people talk about it. And I was literally like, ooh, like, demure. Like, I've never heard that word. And then I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then day 2 hit. Oh, wow. More people are talking about this. It's so awesome. It's a little bit too much, but it's still funny. Day 3 hits.
Over it.
Every single time I hear the word demure, I feel like snapping. And it just the problem isn't the trend or the meme itself. The problem is the saturation
of the word.
and the fact that, like, with a lot of different, like, social phenomenons, you're able to have, like, different takes on it. Like,
Yeah.
like Brat Summer was, like, a whole, like, movement, and you could have it was literally an album, outfits, everything.
Yeah.
So many good jokes could be made. This is, like, it's literally 2 words. Like, how often can you repeat that?
I know. It's I'm so sick of it. I have yet to see the original. I have to go find it now. But yeah, I don't know when day 1 was for me. It had to be like maybe 2-3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I heard people saying it first, and then I heard the audio after, like day 3, day 4. And I was so sick of the original audio by the time I first heard it because I'd already just seen people saying it. And I didn't think it was a real word at first. I thought it was something somebody made up. And everyone thought it was, like, funny, and they started doing it. But no, it's modest, and I don't like it. It makes me cringe.
Yeah, it's so cringy. I had, like, this was still, like, a week and a half ago. So still, even in the beginning stages, my friend, like, made a comment. He was like, oh, like, am I being demure? And I was like,
Don't say that.
Shut up. I was like, it's not funny. It's not funny. So yeah, we're haters.
Proud haters.
But yeah, I liked it for the first 2 seconds. I thought it was interesting at first. Now it's just too much, and I'm sick of it. Move on. Just move
I know.
on,
I will say I can't remember the first video I saw of it. Because I did like it. That's the only video I liked, I think, with, like, demure. And I thought it was funny. And then again, it got overused. But we need to move on from this. I hate it. And I used to say it as a joke to my friends. I can't even say it anymore.
No,
it makes me cringe.
It's sickening. Good.
Bryn can even start this segment.
Dude, I know. Like, literally, when we were, like, planning out this episode, Sarah, like, made the comment, like, oh, we're talking about the demure. And I just felt like, I felt my heart fill with hate. I got so angry. It's like, even hearing the word makes my blood boil.
I know. I don't know a single person who genuinely thinks it's funny, and it's a good trend.
And if you think it's funny, grow up.
I know. Ooh.
All right. Well, that's something we hate, but now to something that's good.
That's
good.
Talk about
our next
yes,
topic, Sarah?
I would like to. So, Miss Sabrina Carpenter released a new album. A bit of a, like, not so recently, but within the last 2 weeks, called Short and Sweet. And we knew this was coming. We heard her 2 singles that she released prior, because, artists all do that. Espresso and Please, Please, Please. Have you listened to those?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like them?
I was going to make a joke, like, not willingly. Like, I just
willingly.
I just hear them on TikTok.
Oh, my God. I hate that they are TikTok songs.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to lie. They both warmed up to me. And I'm not the biggest Sabrina Carpenter fan. But I love those songs. I started calling Espresso the song of the summer because I think it was.
Yeah, the Espresso, like, definitely.
Great.
I'm not saying it's the song of the summer for me as in, like, it's my favorite song because I don't love the song. But it definitely was, like, the song that you would see everywhere and that, like, everyone was playing.
No, I love it. And then Please, Please, Please. I didn't like it at first. And then I warmed up to it. And there's even, I didn't think I would like it, either song. But there's, in the chorus of Please, 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 she, like, sings a line. Then there's, like, a clap line and then a clap, clap. And I started doing that now because it's so catchy. But anyway, straight up vibes. Great vibes. Very upbeat. Very, like, ooh la la. And then Short and Sweet comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Like 10, 11 tracks, I think. The entire album length is 34 minutes long. So she did really play on the word short and sweet.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I went on Twitter that morning when it came out, and someone was really mad, and they were like, Sabrina, sweetie, I've had poops longer than 34 minutes. Like, come on. And I'm not gonna lie, it is very, very short. But I was so excited. I got up. I went to the gym that day. I'm pretty sure it was a leg day. And I started listening to it, and I was like, this is not the vibe.
Oh.
It's very opposite. Every single song on there, besides Espresso and Please, 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 are opposite from those 2 singles. They're all, like, sad songs, not upbeat. And I was like,
interesting. Because I feel like with her whole, like, outro shtick that she's been doing, like, her vibe and her persona is, like, fun. Yeah. So that they're all sad is kind of weird. But
I know. They're sexies, too. 1 or 2 is, like, a little raunchy. But they're not the vibe that Espresso and Please, Please, Please I thought were setting up. So I was actually very disappointed.
I was going to say it's probably also called Short and Sweet because she's 5 foot.
So she is 5 foot. She is short and sweet. I think that's why she named it, because it's off of her height. Mm-hmm. And then she has a sweet personality.
Yeah. I'm not going to hate on Sabrina Carpenter, but I've just never been, like, a fan.
No, same.
Like, I just don't love any of her music. Actually stream Please, Please, Please by Fiona Apple.
Oh, my
Song
God.
of the same title, but I love that song. But yeah, I'm just never, so I haven't listened to the album. And, like, I feel like I could tell you so many lyrics from Please, 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 and I've never once streamed it. Like,
that, I believe that.
It's just TikTok.
I know. It is TikTok. TikTok has claimed it. But I'm not going to lie, when Sabrina Carpenter was, like, when she was still a Disney kid and she was releasing albums back then, I was banging some of her music. I know I had 2 of her albums on CD.
Older songs? I can't even think about them.
So, the one I liked... Well, I know a lot from her, like, very first album, but the one I always liked was Thumbs. And then we obviously have her more, like, recent in the past 2 years, like, Nonsense Feather, Because I Liked a Boy, which all stemmed from the Olivia Rodrigo drama with Joshua Bassett. Mm-hmm. And that music was good, but I would never call myself a fan. I don't think... I only listened to Espresso and Please, Please because all my friends were playing it, and I was like, ooh, I really like this. But I only listened to, like, maybe 6 of her songs max. Yeah. They're added to my playlist. But, yeah, Short and Sweet. It was, in fact, short. I didn't find it sweet. I didn't end it.
Short and mid.
Short and mid. The only song I did like was Bedkim, which is a little sexy. It's good. And Barry, her boyfriend.
Oh, Barry Keoghan, yeah.
Barry Keoghan, who, you find him hot, don't you? Your Eternal Story.
No. Wait, I thought he was hot in Eternals.
Yeah, True.
That is the only thing I find him hot, though.
Not
I actually
Saltburn?
used to be a more of a Barry Keoghan fan because, like, I really appreciated, like, his filmography.
Oh, yeah.
And he's so talented.
He is
But
talented.
I'm
He's got
like, I
range.
feel like his persona has, like, changed into Sabrina Carpenter's boyfriend.
Yeah.
And, like, so since he's started, like, dating Sabrina Carpenter,
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider myself a
I
fan
remember the
anymore.
Coachella videos of all of him.
Yeah. Like, I was a fan before he was famous. I'm just kidding. Like, obviously, he was very famous. I still need to watch Killing of Sacred Deer, which he's in. But, like, obviously, he
Ooh.
had the limelight with Saltburn.
Yeah.
Saltburn's so good.
Saltburn is a good movie. For anyone who didn't know, Bryn put me on that. No, that movie was good. The ending saved it. It was really messed up film.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, watch it. But you've
Yeah.
probably seen it because it was big.
Oh my
But
god, yeah.
I know everyone was saying Saltburn Summer, and then we had a Brett Summer. Like, you know when people would say, like, oh,
yeah.
like, Saltburn Summer or Call Me By Your Name Summer?
Yeah.
Dude, I would love to have a Call Me By Your Name
I
Summer.
would love that too. In Italy.
Yeah,
Oh, with a
somewhere in
lover.
northern Italy.
Oh my god, yeah.
All right, speaking of movies, our last topic, it's about the movie It Ends With Us.
Yes.
Not necessarily about the movie, but about the press and controversy surrounding Blake Lively.
Yes, ma'am. Let's get into it because I've been waiting for this to happen.
First of all, did you read the book?
No, I will say, so it's based off a book, Colleen Hoover, of the same name. She is a very popular adult romance author. I am a proud Colleen Hoover hater. I cannot stand her. I've read 5 of her books. I've read all of them, and it's horrible. I hate that she's called a romance author because none of her books are romantic. They all center around abuse, which she draws from personally, but
Yeah.
it's too much romanticizing the abuse.
I was going to say, with It Ends With Us, I did read the book.
Oh,
it's
you
the
did?
only Colleen Hoover book I've read.
Okay.
But the funny thing is, like, if you've seen the cover, it's like an exploding flower.
Yeah.
And, like, going into, like, reading the book, I literally thought, like, it was going to be, like, a drama, like, mystery book.
Oh,
which, I mean, it has those
really?
elements. But literally, I was like, oh, excited to read this book. I get into it, and it's a romance. And I was like, I was so, like, upset. I was like,
Yeah.
I did not know this was a romance when I started it. Like, I think if I knew what it was about, I wouldn't have read it.
Yeah.
But, so I won't say I liked the book. Because, yeah, I don't love Colleen Hoover's writing. I think it's corny.
Yeah. There's so many questionable lines.
But I will say it was a total page turner. Like,
Yeah.
I read that book so fast. So while it's not a good book, if you want something to get out of a slump, or if corny romance is like, if that's your vibe, go for it.
Yeah.
And as for the actual, like, movie, did you watch it?
Heck no.
I did.
Girl.
I saw it. I went and saw it with my mom.
Oh.
I will say the places in which the movie falls short for me
Yeah.
is just like, that's not my, it's kind of like a melodrama, and that's not my
Yeah.
preferred style or genre of movie.
Yeah.
But I think it, as like an adaptation to the book, it was
It's
perfect.
spot on.
So it's like, it's not an astonishing movie because, like I said, the book it was based on was kind of corny, but
Yeah.
as an adaptation, I think it does a perfect job of being an adaptation of that book.
That's
so I think
good.
it was well done in that sense. Now to the controversy. I'm not going to say too much because spoilers, but It Ends With Us does cover themes of abuse.
Yes.
In like domestic abuse in relationships. And the director is Justin Baldoni. In interviews, you can see that he is very passionate about that this movie is about a very serious
Yes.
topic, and he wants to kind of give a voice to victims of domestic abuse and kind of, share their stories, support them, and have this movie support them.
Yeah.
But his co-star, who is the lead in the movie, Blake Lively, has been kind of the opposite.
Yes. Very much the opposite.
And first a video resurfaced of, and the interviewer was actually the one who posted it on YouTube, and it was titled something to the effect of like, the interview that made me want to quit my job.
Yeah.
And in this interview, it starts off with the interviewer saying to Blake Lively, "Congratulations on your little bump." Oh, and for the record, this interview was not for It Ends With Us.
Oh, yeah, this was years ago.
It was an old interview, but this interview made people, is like one of the main things, like catalysts that made people question Blake Lively's character. At this time, Blake Lively was pregnant and like publicly pregnant.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't something she was keeping to herself. Like the general public knew that she is pregnant and she had talked about it. So the interviewer starts the interview by saying, "Congratulations on your little bump," which is like, okay, that's just a sweet, nice thing to say. Blake Lively immediately like gets like offended for some reason, like no reason, and is like, "Oh, congratulations on your little bump," and which is like, okay, what are you trying to say by that? Like, why are you commenting on her body in that way when she was just trying to acknowledge something in a positive manner?
I know.
And it was later revealed that the interviewer actually had issues with infertility. So it was like, obviously Blake didn't know this at the time.
Yeah.
But her saying that was like a directly insensitive comment.
Yeah.
Because she cannot have her own little bump.
I know.
But so that's how she starts off the interview. And then Blake like continues throughout the interview. She just talks to her other female co-star that was doing, and they're like talking to themselves and kind of ostracizing the interviewer, which is like, it's not like she did anything inherently like abhorrently evil, but everyone was just saying like, this is total like mean girl
behavior. Yeah, she is a mean girl. That's what started it all. And then the press came out.
Yeah.
For It Ends With Us.
And in the press with It Ends With Us, there was one interview where, like, if you see, like I said, Justin Baldoni is very passionate about this project.
Yeah.
He's the director. He's one of the main characters. Like, he is very involved with it. And it is very important to him to, like, have this be support for domestic abuse. And he talks about that in all his interviews.
Yeah. And you can tell that whenever he gets asked that question, like, he takes very great care of what he's going to say.
Yeah.
So we love him. But
in one interview, the interviewer asks Blake Lively, obviously this movie is going to like hit home for a lot of people, and those people are going to want to talk to you and have a conversation and share their stories with you. And he said to Blake, if a fan runs into you and wants to share their story with you, what is the best way for them to do that? Blake immediately turns it into like a mean joke and goes, "Oh, should I just give them my phone number? Should I just share my location with them?"
Yeah.
Like, is saying like, "Oh my," like acting as though like, why would I give these people the time of day? Like, they don't deserve that from me. Her co-star Brandon Skelnar, who plays Atlas in the movie, he's like with her in this interview, and if you like look on his face, like he looks uncomfortable.
I know.
But it was just another example of like, well, first of all, it's a serious topic.
Yeah.
And then it's like, not only is she being incredibly insensitive about this topic, but she's like making a joke at the expense of domestic abuse survivors, which is not okay. People have pointed out that in a lot of the press, in interviews, that Blake Lively has neglected to kind of talk about the contents or like the process of the movie, and has instead focused on like promoting her own personal hair care brand.
Oh my God, yeah, I forgot about that.
It's like, it would be one thing if this was some like random rom-com, but it's like, no, this is a movie that discusses very important topics.
Yeah.
And you're gonna just like kind of belittle it.
I know.
So it's just very inconsiderate. But basically it's just exposed her for being like a mean girl in Hollywood, and people are just reflecting on her actions and not thinking of her in a positive light at all.
I know. And I mean, Blake Lively, I mean, everyone loves Ryan Reynolds, her husband. And then Blake Lively, I mean, everyone loves them as a couple. I would say they're probably one of the most unproblematic couples in Hollywood until now.
Yeah.
And so I had no problem with Blake Lively but everything's resurfacing. She's being so insensitive, promoting this movie as just a funny, quirky little romance. Ooh, I don't like it. So I've lost a lot of respect for Blake Lively.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have.
Yeah, and I think everyone's talking about it. So, yeah. This is a PR nightmare. I do not think,
yeah.
Yeah, I do not think her career will ever fully recover from this.
No, it's bad.
And also it's like her popularity started with, well, I mean, she was in earlier stuff like Sister to the Traveling Pants. But then I feel like she really like blew up in Gossip Girl.
Oh my goodness,
which
yes.
was years and years ago. Mm-hmm. So it's like she's almost been not fading into irrelevancy, but she's not in like the height of her like it girl moment.
No, she's not.
She's kind of known for, she was loved for her persona of like her and Ryan Reynolds being a cute couple.
Yeah.
And it's like now that image is completely tarnished.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I don't see her ever like regaining huge public positive public
and
opinion.
We're kind of like in the aftermath. Things are still bubbling up, but it's kind of fizzling out, and I have not seen her address any of it.
Yeah, she stayed quiet.
I've seen her address her hair care and her makeup brand or whatever. But no, so not good for Blake Lively.
Yeah.
Not very demure.
Well, this episode, this was a negative episode. I think we know what needs to be dead last. And that's a demure trend. It's dead last and it's out. It's out. It's so out. It was out 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Give it a rest.
Yep.
Second,
it ends with us.
Yeah, because 100%. It's like it's an inherently a negative thing that is making light of a very serious topic that should not be joked about.
Yeah.
So that's also out.
Yes.
And then that leaves
short and sweet, half and half. The album really was more of a disappointment. But like today, I just saw a thing where it hit number 1 on the Billboard 200. So
I'm gonna say out though.
For sure out. I've only listened to the album once, and I'm never again listening to it.
Like it's not inherently negative and detrimental like the other two. No. But I'm personally not gonna stream.
Yeah, me neither. So yeah.
Well, thank you guys for listening or watching. And this episode came out on a different day because we had Labor Day.
We did have Labor Day.
But our future episodes will come out on Mondays.
Yes.
And we will see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.